Rajashree Maa, would you like to begin with your initial experience of receiving these light forms from Divine Mother?
Mm, Thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction, Chamatkara. And I'm delighted that we're doing this so that people can hear the stories of what Kaliki Reiki is, yes, how it came into being, and really how it's transformed lives, mine included. So yes, I'm happy to tell my story. Thank you. Um, so I was already a traditional Usui Reiki master. I had been practicing Reiki for several years, but I had only just recently been mastered because I waited quite a long time to find a teacher I really wanted to work with. I found that teacher. I spent a year studying with her before I was mastered. That was in 2007. In 2008, I began this deep 10-year program of Kashmir Shaivite studies in yoga and deep meditation. And I was still practicing, of course, as a clinical psychologist. And I feel it was those three kind of those three limbs of my life: the psychological studies, the deep yogic studies, and the Reiki healing studies and experiences that at one point, at a certain point in 2008, congealed into a series of mystical experiences. So I'd been trained in traditional Reiki, which has certain symbols that you learn if you're attuned to traditional Reiki. But I had this experience over 7 nights, actually, where I was awakened in the middle of the night, same time every night, by this beautiful, diffuse, all pervasive light. Now, the thing is, I was actually staying with my mother. I was sleeping in my father's bedroom, and my dad, kind of like me, couldn't sleep with any light at all, and so had room darkening blinds and curtains. There was absolutely no light source in the room. So I woke up and it's like, oh, this light. And it's like, where's this coming from? And, I peeked under the door to see maybe my mom was up in the other room and she had the hall light on or something. There were no lights. I even opened the blinds and looked outside, where their headlights. It was very quiet. It was new moon time. There were no lights. So anyway, there I was in the middle of this amazing light. And I just sat there and saturated it in, just took it in, and was amazed. That was the first night. Well, every night again, for these 7 nights while I was staying at my mom's house, I was awakened at the same time by the same light. But then every night it seemed to just change a little bit. And it was like light was emerging from light. Well, that actually doesn't happen unless there's some kind of source, right? But that's what I was seeing in front of me. And at a certain point, I saw three lights, columns or lines of light emerging from the light. And eventually, I saw this form of a trident, or what in Sanskrit is called a trishul, that emerged out of this light. And then I received a message from, I can only identify her as Divine Mother, as Kali Ma, the source of all, really, telling me that this was a symbol, and a symbol to be used in Reiki healing. So I was, kind of blown away, to say the least. And I came home and I talked to my meditation teacher, and I couldn't get a hold of my Reiki teacher, but I talked to her teacher and shared the symbol with them, and they were all going like, wow, because they felt the power of this symbol. And here I was, trained in Reiki, trained in these other things, and I began to understand the importance of the trident, the Trishul, in yogic studies and yogic philosophy. And of course, we know the Trinity is essential in the Western traditions as well. And so there was that notion of it being a symbol of the three, but also kind of like the three in one. And that it had this power to awaken what I call the love force, the life force energy, that is the little energy of Divine Mother, that's the energy of Shakti. And so we being myself and some of my students, I already had some Reiki students by this time, we started experimenting with this. And again, I gave it to my teachers, and everybody just felt this tremendous power and awakening, spiritual awakening, which I call wisening, and healing overall, coming into a full and whole state of being. And so that was the beginning of Kali Ki Reiki as a lineage. At first, I didn't think of it as its own lineage. I thought this was just another symbol to use in Reiki healing. But after that, and over a period of 12 years, actually, several other symbols came, and the group began to realize, oh no, this is its own lineage.